production of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are NC.
It's another warm, sunny afternoon at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles for the final game of this three-game series between the Royals and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Hi, everybody. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler with you. We have a great pitching matchup today with Clayton Kershaw against Danny Duffy. But more importantly, Rex, the Royals want to go to the All-Star break on a winning note.
Yeah, I think they'd be happy with 4 wins on this final road trip going in. But Fizz, you know what? It was down, then up, and mainly up, continuing up. Now, you're not going to win every single series, but they were in it both of those first 2 games. It's going to be fun to see them compete today against one of the best.
And they have their work cut out for them because the very best pitcher perhaps in all of Major League Baseball, Clayton Kershaw, will throw for Los Angeles. His story is next. Academy Sports and Outdoors for all for less. The Royals will face one of the best pitchers of our generation in left-hander Clayton Kershaw.
It won't be easy, Fizz, but look, the Royals have beaten aces before in their journey to the promised land in years back. They know the same thing. You got to take advantage when you get a chance. But those numbers right there, woohoo, off the charts. Only the great Max Scherzer has better numbers than Kershaw.
146 strikeouts this year. Well, from Lompoc, California, Danny Duffy, the California kid, makes his Dodger Stadium debut. 5 days because of right oblique injury. Came off the disabled list on Tuesday. Pitched well against Seattle.
His consistency was there. I liked how he mixed his pitches. Fastball looked crisp, but his command was good. He just walked a couple, but still, very nice tune-up for a dream start for him this afternoon.
It's Duffy against Clayton Kershaw. The Royals against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The final game before the All-Star break, and it comes your way with the first pitch next. Missouri Lottery by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by the Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest lasting full-size pickup on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. It is indeed a hot Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles. Steve Pizioc, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg with you in the City of Angels. And the Dodgers have played some marvelous baseball. They are 60-29, and here is the look of the Kansas City lineup with Merrifield going number 1, then Torres, then Kane and Hosmer, but no Gordon, no Moose, and no Perez today facing Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, it's always good if you're an offensive player to face the best, and that's a test. You're expected to go 0 for 4, but if you happen to get that one big hit or a home run off of him, and you're the king, and it makes you feel good when you can beat a guy like him. It's not easy. It's fastball, slider, curve change. Those are all above average pitches, but it's his windup and the deception and the pausing of his delivery that makes him so difficult to square up. But he does have numbers against him, and there have been guys that hit him. So that's what you take into the game. We're going to get him.
He has been the king this year, and big left-hander at 6'4", 225. And Whit Merrifield goes after the very first pitch he sees and flies out to left field as Chris Taylor makes the catch, 1 down.
I like it. He tried to jump on him and ambush him.
Third baseman number 46, Ramon Torres.
We'll show you that Dodgers defense here. Now their catcher Barnes, he's got thrown out 21% this year. That's pretty good, and in his career overall.
Now Ramon Torres, and he'll take the first pitch. Low and inside. Kershaw doesn't throw many pitches out of that strike zone. Only 22 walks this year against 146 strikeouts.
Which is good for our offense. We're a free swinging bunch. We usually match up well against pitchers that throw a lot of strikes.
And that's the kind of swings you'll see against Kershaw, who has been outstanding this year with 13 wins, only 2 losses, and 9-0 record in his last 12. He has that little hitch in his delivery that throws off the timing of a lot of hitters.
Well, I'll say it's just an unusual delivery. You don't see anything like that, especially when runners get on base. He puts his arms all the way up in the air. It's very unusual. Therefore, it makes it tough for timing.
Strikes out Ramon Torres, so very quickly 2 outs in the first inning. And our Phillips 66, what's in the tank? Kershaw has plenty.
Sure does. All those wins since '09, ERA, strikeouts. He can do it all, and he can swing a decent bat as well.
Now Kane fouls it into the glove of Austin Barnes. Lorenzo was ejected in the 7th inning for debating a call at home plate by umpire Bill Miller, who's the crew chief.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate situation. The Royals, they were in last night's game all the way. They had it and just gave it away. 4 walks and consecutive walks hasn't happened since 1962. That's really unusual.
And Lorenzo basically said, could you at least admit that you missed the call? And that was enough. And then he waves at that breaking ball. I mean, he has 2 excellent breaking balls. A slider where opponents are batting 197, a curveball, opponents batting 139 against that hammer. And strike 3 call.
Oh man, he just abused Torres and Kane.
When we come back, the kid from Lompoc will be on the mound for Kansas City, Danny Duffy. California, which is 149 miles north of here from Dodger Stadium. This year, 5 wins, 4 losses. Again, he spent 35 days on the disabled list because of a strained right oblique. Pitched well in that first start after beating the Mariners on Tuesday.
Yep, he looked good. His tempo was fine, rhythm, everything looked good. He said he felt good. Fastball, breaking ball, changeup. The fastball is his pitch he likes to get established if he can early. But he knows that in order to be successful against a powerful lineup, he's got to be able to mix them all. Can't just challenge them with heaters.
Forsythe, Taylor, and Turner. Bellinger, who had the walk-off walk, and yesterday's 5-4 win in 10 innings for the Dodgers. They've won 5 straight and 25 of their last 29. Forsythe picked up from the Tampa Bay Rays in a trade in the offseason. There is a strike and a 1-1 count to Logan. 30 years old, out of Memphis, Tennessee. Played his college baseball at the University of Arkansas. And because the Dodgers have been to the postseason 10 times but no World Series since their last 1988, their management was determined to go out and get character guys, tough guys, and Forsythe certainly one of those guys with the Rays last year.
Yep. And you know, Dave Island was telling me before the game when I asked him about what would be Duffy's toughest challenge, and he said the first inning, the adrenaline, the emotions of pitching, and the ballpark that you went to your first big league game when you were a kid, all those things, they add up. Get through the first.
Big swing for Forsythe and miss.
Now the Dodgers, they do pretty well against the left-handed pitcher this year. Their overall team average 263. That's 6th in the league, and their 39 home runs. That's first best against lefties. So they'll be tough.
Kershaw mainly goes slider curve, while Duffy, his off-speed pitches are slider and maybe his best pitch, his changeup.
Yep, very effective. He likes to establish the fastball, but he can throw that changeup before he even throws a hitter a fastball and get it out.
He gets a swing and miss here.
And what's going to happen is the Dodgers are going to find out if anybody gets on or not. He likes to throw all 3 pitches from a slide step, and does not go from the windup. Forward around the horn defense by the Kansas City Royals. We'll show you that Moose is getting the off day today. Moose and Salvi are off. They've got a heck of a grind and a big load coming up this week as well. But the manager expected, or just decided, Ned, that he would put Torres out there at third base. Butera behind the plate.
And Taylor bangs one deep to left field, but racing over is Soler, who got a good jump, and 2 out.
Soler getting an opportunity to play in left field again, and up in Seattle, played a heck of a left field. Did a good job. Got a nice jump on that Chris Taylor swing. Hit it off the end of the bat. He didn't really barrel it nicely, but still, Soler looked good in Seattle, and so far, looking good here in LA.
So now Justin Turner, who is leading the National League in batting at .375. He's a late bloomer, now 32 years of age, but his last 2 seasons have really gone well.
He's a hitter who's just understood what he can do, his strengths, his plate discipline has been wonderful, and he's only hitting .418 off of lefties.
And as you can tell, he'll stand right on top of home plate, his hands in that strike zone. That's why he's been hit 11 times this year. And he blasts one to center field. Kane going back, leaps, and it's gone. 1-0 Dodgers.
Six of his 8 homers are off of lefties, and I'm telling you, you get the ball airborne on a day like today here at Dodger Stadium, that ball carries out of the yard. Good example. Duffy thought it was up, but it wasn't. It was on the outer half and a changeup. Oh, and Turner just got underneath it, locating with a nice try, but that's all Kershaw really needs. Hopefully we'll be able to get to him.
But that really wasn't that bad a pitch. That's just a great at bat by Justin Turner.
It's a great swing by an all-star.
Now the kid Bellinger, he had the walk-off walk for the victory yesterday.
Watch out.
Oh man, that is Kerwin Danley. And Drew Butera helping him out after he got slammed. And
He has had concussions before. Kerwin has.
Yeah, there was a game at Kauffman Stadium where he took one right in the face mask and crumpled to his knee, and Salvador Perez helped him out. This time Drew Butera was holding on to keep him from collapsing.
Yeah, then Bellinger, you know, the hitter grabbed him.
Yeah. So they asked for a cold, watered down towel. I believe they're going to place that behind his neck. And we might have a change in who will be the home plate umpire, because just what you talked about, Hud, they don't take any chances when a guy has had some concussion problems in the past.
No, hot day like this, and you get your bell rung in the first inning. That makes for a long rest of the day. He's a tough man. Playing, he was teammates with Tony Gwynn, San Diego State University, and it actually hit off the glove and the mask before it got him. We'll see.
Wow. I'm sure Kerwin wants to stay in, but they have medical rules in Major League Baseball, not only for the players but for the umpires as well.
He's going to stay in by just checking it out.
I saw not only the Dodgers trainer but also the Dodgers doctor sprint out there. Kerwin says he's ready to go. So we'll start play again with the Royals at 44-42, third place in the American League Central, 3 games back of Cleveland, and the Dodgers just playing monster baseball. They're 60-29 and first in the National League West with a 6.5 game lead over Arizona. That is the largest division lead in the National League.
Lava hot, no question about it.
I mean, they've won 25 of their last 29. That's crazy. Royals have been playing good baseball. They've won 18 of their last 26, but they have lost the first 2 games of this series, 4-1 and 5-4. Bellinger to the right side, fielded by Merrifield. And that will do it, but a home run by Justin Turner gives Kershaw a 1-0 lead. have the early edge on Kansas City. Eric Hosmer will be the leadoff batter here in the second inning, and this guy has just been putting together a marvelous season. He has the longest active hit streak in the major leagues at 14 straight games, hitting .375 during that span. With 3 home runs and 10 RBIs, he has 3 hits in this series. He is our Toyota league leader. And Hosmer's done a pretty good job against Kershaw. They've only faced each other one time, but Eric went 2 for 4, and that was in a 2-0 Dodger victory at Kauffman Stadium back on June 24th, 2014. And right away, Hosmer goes center field, so make that hit streak 15 straight.
That's right. Take care of it early. That was loud. Good, solid contact. Another first ball swinging Royal. That's what you want to do. Look for that. It's straight, too, now. It's right over the top of four-seamer. Haas loves the ball above the belt. Just showed you why. Tagged it.
And Hud, if Kershaw does have an Achilles heel, it's giving up the long ball. He's allowed 17 home runs this year, and 11 have come in a pitcher's friendly ballpark at home.
That's right. You can get him. 17 home runs total. Right side. Those are the guys that can get him. But he'll start mixing them. Kershaw's a smart pitcher. He's not going to just lay cookies in their first pitch. He just pulled the string there. On Bonifacio. Got his average back up to 250. They really need his production.
He had 2 hits. And the Royals 5-4 loss in 10 innings, and then breaking ball misses outside to Jorge. He's reached in his last 16 games.
Kershaw has a pretty good pickoff move. Doesn't have a pickoff yet this season, but 58 total in his career. Haas not going anywhere.
And then he goes with that slide step, so he's quick home as well. And Bonifacio down in the count 1-2.
Yeah, very quick home. You see how he holds his hands up in the sky, like very rare, all the way up to the sky, fully extended. Comes down, he'll make a stop, but then he's got a little delay in his delivery. But from the stretch, he's going to come right home.
Slow roller. Kershaw's only play is first base. Bonifacio at least advances Hosmer into scoring position.
Hey, productive out. That'll work. Kershaw, excellent athlete, along like Danny Duffy. Duffy can feel his position as well. But after you saw Kershaw deliver the ball and release it, he fell to the third base side, which is typical for a lot of left-handed pitchers. So if you're going to get an infield hit or push a bunt, that right side is where you want to go with it. But you know, you mentioned the 12 home runs right-handers have hit off of him. I wouldn't be wasting any bunts today. I'm going to be looking at belt high, try to hit one out of the park. Duffy's going to need some run support.
Yeah, because he's made a living at crushing opponents' rallies by striking them out with runners at third base. Less than 2 out. First pitch swing and a miss to Escobar. A little different, Rex, because he's from a different era. You would think Kershaw. Now you see a lot of stand tall pitchers. Now he is a drop and drive guy.
Yeah, you know, really leverages his lower half a lot like a hitter will with his power. Use his lower half. Pitchers have to be able to drive, and they have to be able to have excellent balance as they come over the top of their throwing motion.
We used to see it a lot. I mean, you think of Tom Seaver or Nolan Ryan or Dennis Leonard, who was the Royal, that drop and drive where their back knee would have dirt on it.
Yeah, you know, that's really leveraging, getting down low. But you know, 6'4", anybody 6'4", 5 or 6, 6'6", you want that downhill angle. Makes it tougher for the hitters to square up. Here it comes, right here. Heater in. Ooh.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
You want to just take a little bit of a shot to right field.
Kershaw's hero, Sandy Koufax, he was here yesterday, but he's what we're talking about, that drop and drive.
Yep. And right over the top. He won't, and Kershaw won't alter his arm angle with either one of his pitches too. Makes it more difficult to hit.
Kershaw has always had very good command. Sandy did not early in his career, and I was reading a story about Koufax that the pitching coach finally realized that he needed more time to warm up, so they would have Sandy Koufax warm up 20 minutes before any other Dodger pitcher would warm up. So he was warming up for 20 minutes before he'd throw his first pitch.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was watching Kershaw before doing his warm-ups, and he seemed like he was out there a long time.
Escobar goes down swinging. That's 3 strikeouts now for Kershaw in 149 this year.
Yeah, that fastball at 93 that he took before that pitch there, that was the one. That was his only chance. You're going to get 1 or 2 pitches that you can handle a plate appearance, but that's it off of an ace.
And Soler actually has faced him as a member of the Cubs and has 1 hit. It was a triple. Jorge pinch hit in the 8th inning last night and struck out. He's in an 0 for 10 after he looked pretty good in that Minnesota series, but now beginning to swing in more pitches that are out of the strike zone.
Yeah, wait for your pitch here and stay straight away on him. He's got power at all fields.
A leadoff single by Hosmer. A ground out got Hos to second base. Escobar, though, struck out. In there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ooh, the fans here liked him pull the string on that one. That was a big old lollipop breaker. Let's see. Look at that. Yeah, it starts out head high, neck high. Those are the ones that are hittable. The ones that start out a little bit lower off the release point, those are going to be in the dirt and not hittable.
I know, but most batters don't see a breaking ball with that arc.
No, but a major league hitter sees a pitch up in his eyes and he knows he can drive that pitch. Your eyes tell your hands what to do.
In their strike 3 called. So 2 strikeouts in each of the first 2 innings for Clayton Kershaw, and Hosmer is left stranded.
As the Dodgers leading the Royals 1-0. Joel Goldberg down here by the Royals dugout. And for Danny Duffy, this is not his first chance to be in the visiting clubhouse at Dodger Stadium. He was here with Team USA when they popped champagne after winning the World Baseball Classic, but he did not pitch in the 2 games here. So this is his first chance to pitch in a place he used to visit all the time as a kid. He Instagrammed it this morning and reminiscing about the young years and his mom and dad bringing him to Dodger Stadium. He said that his parents would take him to about 6 games a year, about a 3-hour drive from Lompoc. His favorite player growing up was Mike Piazza, but then he went off to rattle off a number of players that he loved. Raul Mondesi, Eric Karros, Dave Roberts, Sean Dunston, Hideo Nomo, Todd Hollinsworth, just to name a few. So he, as you can imagine, has been looking forward to this day for a long time, to live that dream of pitching here at Dodger Stadium. He did say that he was going to unplug that phone a little bit and just try to lock in and focus on this game, knowing that a lot of folks from Lompoc would be wanting to come. Just wants to stay locked in on what should be a very special day for Danny Duffy. Fizz?
Yeah, he's very proud of his hometown, and he was a guy who was not a prospect early. He was like 5'4" as a freshman in high school with a 70-mile-an-hour fastball, and then grew 10 inches the next 3.5 years and became a prospect. His dad was his high school coach, and his mom used to catch him at the side until she said, as soon as Danny started throwing 90, I said, that's it. You're going to have to get one of your friends to warm you up.
Deanna's something special, I'm telling you. Like all mothers of baseball players, they do a lot. We're waiting now for the change of umpires. Danley had enough in that first inning after getting his bell rung, so his partner's taking over. But in between innings, you know, Bill Miller, you know, crew chief says, hey, look, I don't think that's going to work out here. You need to go take the rest of the afternoon off, especially as hot as it is here.
Yeah, sometimes your heart tells you more than your health, because he had to get out of there, and they need to take care of him. Like you said, he's had the issues before. Yeah.
But, you know, getting back to Duffy and how small he was physically as a freshman in high school or a young guy. Look, you have to have the dream and keep it in your heart. You can't control some of the other elements of how big or how small you're ever going to get, but you can't control your dreams. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to really be willing to do what it takes to be here. So Duffy, he grew, and eventually you can control that by your good eating, but Duffy had it in his heart. He wanted to be a big leaguer, and now look at him.
Yeah, he said it wasn't at Dodger Stadium, but it was watching an Angels game at the Big A when he was a sophomore in high school, and he said that was the first time I thought, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. That was the first time I got serious about the game and really started working. And he's always been a running fool, like Forrest Gump, just running forever. You know, he can run for like 4 or 5 hours at a time.
But it didn't just happen overnight.
No.
Man, he went home, you know, after his first few years of professional baseball, and took the rest of the summer off because he saw how hard it was. He wasn't exactly sure if he had what it took, and sure enough, with some persuasion of some important people in his life, he's able to regain his stride and learn. And remember how all the years it took him to become a guy on that mound. I mean, it's not easy.
Well, today's game is on AFN, the American Forces Network, now in its 75th year of broadcasting to an American military personnel overseas in more than 170 countries and naval ships at sea. Welcome to those watching today, and thank you for your service. Let's revisit Kerwin Danley getting hit by the pitch, as a foul ball was struck by Cody Bellinger, and it glanced off Butera first and then off the mask of Danley, and watch Kerwin get woozy, and Drew try and help him to the ground along with Cody Bellinger.
And he finished the inning off, and then in between innings he's getting a little woozy. It's time to take a seat.
So Adam Hamari will be the new umpire, with the bases Todd Titchener and Bill Miller, the crew chief. And this will be a little bit like a spring training game when we have 3 umpire crews. Austin Barnes will lead things off against Danny, who had a long time in between innings. First pitch to Barnes. He takes strike 1. Barnes, pretty good player, 282 average, and even though he's not the everyday catcher, he does have 4 home runs with 18 driven in. He's out of Riverside. And he was a young man who was Florida Marlins 9th round draft pick in 2011 out of Arizona State, and the Dodgers wanted him. I mean, every team is always searching for a really good backup catcher.
Duffy waited about 4 minutes between his last warm-up pitch and the first one here, but it's awfully hot out there. I mean, you know, when you've thrown a few baseballs, really, that's all you need.
And they get the strikeout.
Shortstop number 14, KCA Hernandez.
High cheese right there. Got the job done.
Warm afternoon in Los Angeles. They usually get the hot, dry heat. Well, it's a little Midwestern, hot and humid. KCA Hernandez is the batter. Arcia in the driver's seat. Danny Duffy versus the National League. Really strong numbers, 5-3 with a 2.89 ERA. In the last 4, he's 2-0. I remember some really good pitching performance by Danny against the Cardinals.
Yep.
Where he had like no hit stuff. KK with a big swing and a miss, now down in the count, 1 ball 2 strikes. Again, the new home plate umpire is Adam Hammery. Titchener and Miller along with him, and Danley out.
They'll have to do a little bit of rotating, pick each other up, minus an umpire. KK Hernandez, he's got 8 homers, 7 of those were against the lefty.
And the 8 already a career high.
Yeah.
They've received excellent performances from just about every single player, but when you're 60-29, season high 31 games over 500, everybody is contributing. Came inside on him, 2 balls 2 strikes.
Umpires are going to rotate. Even with 4 umpires at full strength, they're all going to kind of pick each other up, because the corner umpires that are out there at first and third now, they're in charge of the outfielders too, so they've got to be able to make the call by going out, and when they go out, the backup umpire will get the base behind him. Home plate umpire, he's got to be able to shift and move as well, wherever the play is going to be.
Hernandez stands up in the box. Just barely low, a full count, 3-2. Yasiel Puig on deck. He got a breaking ball the other day from Jason Hamill and hammered it out to left.
See what Butera wants to put down here. 3-2 typically is a fastball situation, as you want to get it in there, not walk him. It's your best command pitch. Up. It was out of the zone.
And it was the fastball at 93. Drew Butera, let's see what he puts down for Duffy. Perez getting the afternoon off. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Hernandez doesn't like the call, but that's number 3 for Danny.
Way too close to take. This is well placed. Beautiful pitch. And it might have been an inside a little bit, but you know, Kike, you got to go.
Now Puig, is the Dodgers going with a lot of right-handers against the lefty Duffy. The Mariner left-handers had a lot of difficulty against Duffy in his first start since coming off the disabled list. They were 0 for 6, and lefties only batting .226 and only 1 has taken him deep. He's only given up 4 home runs this year. 3 to right-handed batters, 1 to a lefty, and that was Brian McCann of Houston.
You know, sometimes it's hard to figure out why right-handed hitters, big leaguers, can't hit lefties. Now, that's probably not overall in his career, but the numbers this year, 171 and 1, it just doesn't make sense with a guy as big and strong as Puig is, with the left-hand breaking ball coming into you. Makes it a little easier, but man.
3 pitches is all Duffy needs, and he strikes out the side. We head to the 3rd inning of play. The Dodgers leading the Royals 1-0. Summer hits South Beach when baseball's biggest stars take the field for the Major League Baseball All-Star Game Tuesday on Fox. Here in LA, Steve Pizziak, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg with you. Royals trying to take the final game of this series after the Dodgers have taken the first 2, 4-1 and 5-4 in 10 innings. And Salvi's going to be heading to South Beach. Mike Moustakas, Jason Vargas. Here is Drew Butera, who at one time was Clayton Kershaw's catcher. He spent 2 years in the Dodgers organization, caught 61 games. And it was really interesting talking with Drew about Kershaw and the scouting report, the meetings they would have before the start. And he said, you know, with everybody else, it usually was the pitching coach, in this case Rick Honeycutt, who would run the meeting. He said, not in Clayton's case. Kershaw ran the entire meeting. And he hits one to left field. Chris Taylor comes on to make the catch. And it was Kershaw who would say, this is the way I want to work with Merrifield. Now I want to throw breaking balls backdoor to Lorenzo Cano, however. And he said Rick and I wouldn't say a thing. He was so well prepared. And there's Honeycutt, the pitching coach, and he's done an excellent job here.
Yeah, you know, you win those Cy Young awards, you could do anything.
He's won 3 Cy Young awards, 2011, 13, and 14. And now Danny. And Kershaw's not messing around.
No, and I asked Danny yesterday, or actually not yesterday, but Friday, when he got a chance to hit against Kershaw, was he going to bunt or was he going to swing away? He said, I'm swinging, and he did. Got his one swing there.
So that's 5 strikeouts for Kershaw, and that gives him 151 this year. He is second in the National League to Max Scherzer in strikeouts. Scherzer starting the day had 173. The big league leader is Chris Sale with 178. And you would think that would be either Sale or Vargas to start Tuesday's All-Star game.
So Whitley swung at the first pitch he saw against Kershaw last time up, and he got another fastball right down the middle. And Whitley would have liked to, but when you make it out on the first pitch and you're at first at bat, typically you want to see more pitches, so you're going to take the next time through.
The only hit was on a first pitch to Eric Hosmer, who slammed it back up the middle to continue his hit streak, which has now reached 15 consecutive games. Just barely low, 1-2. Make it 6 for Kershaw, 2 in each inning. Away, but over here at Dodger Stadium, LA has a 1-0 lead. As we take a look at our Academy leaderboard, the Dodgers have had 60 wins before the All-Star break, and in recent history, the New York Yankees in 1998, that marvelous team, was 61-20. Then the M's in 2001, the Braves in 2003 had 61, but the Yankees in '98 were the only team to make it to and win the World Series. The Astros go for number 60 today.
They already got it.
They got it. Okay. I knew they were playing. I didn't know it was over. Thank you.
Welcome.
Here's Trace Thompson. Trace more known for his talented World Championship brother Clay, who plays for the Golden State Warriors, and Trace chose baseball and came up in the Chicago White Sox system. Very talented outfielder. Getting the start against the lefty Duffy. Only 3 for 28.
It's waiting to get established. Sometimes you got to wait your turn. There's all the young, talented Dodgers that are here. And he got traded over here. He was like, "Uh-oh, what's going to happen here?" Not a lot of room, but then he's a good enough athlete where he's been able to shine defensively. You're not going to have a lot of timing with your when you don't get many at bats, but you get a chance to play defense, especially in the National League, help save some runs, you're worth your weight.
He was a .211 hitter this year at Oklahoma City AAA team. 7 home runs. Danny behind the count, and then comes with a strike to run it full. 3-2. He has Thompson, Kershaw, and then you roll the lineup over to Logan Forsythe, leadoff hitter. Hit well left field. Soler is back, and that ball bangs off the wall, and with Thompson's speed, he'll likely have 3.
He crushed it, no doubt, but didn't hit it hard enough to get it over the 360-foot mark out there down in left field. But it hit a padded wall, and the ball carrying back to center field. You can see that, and that's what allowed him to get the triple. Locane, you can't blame Lorenzo. That's a ball. It's off the wall. He wasn't expected to, that ball to kick all the way to center field. So, but he couldn't have prevented him for extra bases anyway. That ball was well struck. Infield's going to come in. Kershaw up. He can handle the bat.
He has 4 sacrifices this year.
Won't be sacrificing here. He'll be swinging away. He has the ability to get a sac fly or better.
He has 2 RBIs this year. Duffy does have 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. He needs one of those right here.
Yeah, he does. He's going to have to pitch his way out of this one.
Staying upstairs on Kershaw, first 2 pitches. Clayton 6 for 37. A little bit wild here to open the 3rd inning.
Looks like that breaking ball's not working.
Left side, Soler. He's got a good arm, and he lets it go. And Thompson is going to hold at 3rd base.
Yeah, with nobody out, he's got a couple more shots to get him in, at least one anyway.
Number 11,
On a sac fly like that, wasn't quite deep enough. Nice job by Danny.
Soler's throw is an accurate one, and then cut off immediately by Ramon Torres. So now you've got a tough out in Logan Forsythe, who's really been swinging a hot bat, 390 average the last couple of weeks. But Duffy did strike him out back in the 1st inning, got him swinging. Infield remains in.
Careful on the first pitch here. He's going to be swinging if it's a fastball. Little breaker.
Gets a strike across, 1-1. So he's gone back to back with the off-speed pitches. Forsythe looked like he was looking for the fastball.
Yeah, that's what he's hunting. That's the pitch you can drive, get that run home. That's what you're looking up in the zone here.
On his hands.
Okay, good location. Day games in California, ball flies. Nighttime, marine layer sets in. All these ballparks close to the ocean, and the ball doesn't carry as well. So daytime, you want to look up in the zone.
Ahead in the count, 1-2.
Belt high.
You're looking breaking ball.
Keep it down.
Came back inside.
Good breaker.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, it's a good spot
Awfully
too.
close.
Very nice. He was expecting Forsythe to swing over the top of that. Didn't go. Now he's going to have to execute another one.
Well, he's staying in on Logan, both with the fastball and the curve.
Including Logan's strikeout his last time up makes him 2 for 6 in his career off Duffy. Big at bat. Don't let him have that run.
He went with that quick slide step. Hoping to throw off the timing of Forsythe, but throws high, and now a full count, 3-2. Back at the middle, it's a 2-0 score. The Dodgers lead it.
Forsythe knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to get the ball in the middle of the field somehow, some way. And that ball stayed out. He's able to get outside of it and wrap it. Raked it right back up the middle. Earlier in the count, he was looking to get the ball up and drive it. Good swing.
Now the Royals infield will be able to back up, and Danny has been able to induce 12 double plays this year. Wants to keep that ball down. He's only been able to get one ground ball thus far, and that was from Bellinger. Taylor fly to left field. Making good contact on Duffy, and Soler made a nice running catch near the warning track on the left.
Taylor likes to get the ball up. He's only grounded into one double play all year. He's looking to elevate.
Again, this slide step, he gets a strike on the inside corner. Forsythe has only stolen one base this year in 2 attempts, and Duffy quick home, also a very good move. Got it just below the letters. Chris Taylor with a look back at Hammery, the home plate umpire. I told you Kerwin Danley took a foul ball off the face mask, had to come out of the game. So I have a 3 umpire crew today. Swing and a miss, and Duffy is able to get the strikeout, his 5th of the game.
Okay, he's able to get that breaking ball where he wanted. Now the 3 hits that the Dodgers have gotten off of Duffy have been on his fastball and changeup and curve. So he's just trying to find out which pitch is working for him right now. That was a good waste pitch out of the zone. He got him.
The 2 pitchers combined 11 strikeouts and not even 3 innings yet. Turner went deep to center field. And it wasn't a bad off-speed pitch, low and away, just a really good at bat by Turner, who has been incredibly hot. He's batting over 400 with 7, now 8 home runs the last month.
No, he just has a great awareness for his pitch. 418 hitter before that last hit he got off of lefties. Merry Christmas.
Wow, that's some kind of strong. You just had said how much damage he's done against left-handed.
Yeah.
He almost looks comfortable out there.
No question. And you know what? He's doing what you do. You look for the ball up and try to get it out. That ball looked like it was going to be a pop-up to shallow center field. I mean, he makes it look like he's in a backyard wiffle ball game. Fastball. This time it wasn't a changeup that he took deep, but this is a fastball. He stays inside it so well. And when you hit it that high on a day where the ball flies, it's going to carry it. It didn't take much to get over the fence. But Duffy's saying the same thing. I thought that was a little pop-up to center fielder.
Fifth career multi-homer game for Justin Turner. For Danny Duffy, he hasn't allowed that many home runs this year. He came in giving up just 4. But 2 to Justin Turner, and Turner's first 2 at-bats of this one, and it's 4-0 for Clayton Kershaw, which is really going to be difficult.
Yeah. 1's all he needed. The way he pitches keeps everybody off balance. But hey, look, you know what? We're also going to have to just look up in the zone and see if they can catch a few mistakes and hit him out of the park.
Royals had a marvelous comeback last night after trailing early in that one, 3-1. Bellinger pulls it to the right side. He is out.
Ooh. Not by much. Whitley got to get that ball over
Dave
there.
Roberts holding up his hand saying, I want to check that.
Bellinger can fly.
And he says, keep playing.
His spots early, being aggressive. He is nailing his pitches on the corners, keeping them down. Fastballs, curveballs, sliders, and changeups. He's on his form, and with a 4-run lead here early, the Royals are going to have to try to get a man on, a couple bloops and a blast, and get back in this game.
Yeah, he's been so dominant. Last 13 games, including this one, Hud, 108 strikeouts and 19 walks, and you get the power from Turner, and all of a sudden it's 4-0 LA.
But he's given up 17 home runs.
Yep.
Kershaw has, and the Royals, they've got enough power for him.
They have just 1 hit. It's by Hosmer, and he'll bat 3rd in this inning. Torres struck out swinging first time up.
Kershaw will make you look bad at the plate, especially if you've never seen him before. Torres was lost first time up, and you know what, that happens sometimes. So he's trying to get in the head in the count here, to just do what he can to get on base. He has short, quick hands to the ball. Torres has been impressive from the left side and right side of the plate. It's a high slider there. That's a good pitch. Good pitch to hit. That ball was elevated.
That is 7 strikeouts now for Kershaw.
Number
Our sprint trivia question: name the only two pitchers to win at least 20 career games with the Royals and Dodgers. We'll give the answer later in the game. Fouled off. Well, I'm going to go with Greinke.
I think that's a pretty good call. Pretty safe for that one. Lorenzo's still hitting under 200 against southpaws this year for whatever reason. Said he's not seeing the ball off him that well.
And he lines that one to left field for a base hit. So the Royals have their second hit. And both of them have been line drives, and Hosmer got the first.
Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks has been good to us. They let us have an idea about where each hitter is with his box and where the pitches might be. That's a good located pitch for Kershaw, and a better piece of hitting by Locane.
Lefty is actually hitting for a higher batting average against Kershaw than right-handers, but usually the opposing manager only places the best left-handers in the lineup facing Kershaw. But a 245 average against left-handers, 184 against right-handers starting this day.
Haas 315 overall, but 320 against southpaws before that hit. Stay with it. Uses the whole field. Not trying to get up there and yank him. Yeah, now he's going to wait him out. Kershaw has some respect for Hosmer. His third hit in his career he got off him that last time up, and it was a lace to center. I mean, barreled on a fastball. So now he's 2-0. See if he challenges Hosmer.
He smacks the ball deep to left center field. That's a way back. And Thompson leaps, but it's gone. Eric Hosmer goes deep and cuts the Dodgers lead to 4-2.
That's right. Work the count. Get it in your favor, 2-0. Make him come to you with a heater. Look up in the zone. Get a little half-inch back underside of that baseball. Oh, man. And let it fly today. Had just enough. Thompson, what an athlete. I thought for sure he was going to bring this one back. Watch Haas. Very easy. Hands right to the ball. Good straight center. Excellent balance. Great key and a big-time home run. He'll never forget that. But he worked it. He earned the count. He waited till the ball. Look at Thompson's effort. Oh, he just missed it.
Ground ball third. Turner throws out Bonifacio. 2 out.
That's the hit that Duffy needed. Get his team back in the game off of Hershiser.
And for Hosmer, he's now 4 for 6 against Clayton Kershaw.
Power. Get the homers.
You remember the game last year where Hosmer took Chris Sale deep twice in one game, and Sale had not given up a home run to a lefty in like forever?
Yep. Haas has skills. No question about it.
Now Escobar, who pops one foul. Back of the middle, fielded by Kershaw, throws out Escobar, but the Royals get 2 on a single by Kane and Eric Hosmer's 12th home run this year.
Oh, look at him. Watch that one. Beautiful.
Dodgers over the Royals, but he gave up a big fly to Eric Hosmer. The Royals offense, as we take a look at the Kubota power stats, 17 home runs in their last 10 games. They had 2 in each of the games, all victories over Seattle.
Big lift. Oz is able to give Duff.
In regulation, Perez was the 3rd in that last game in the 10th inning to give the Royals that sweep.
That's right.
Royals at 44 and 42. Cleveland will host Detroit, a game that has yet to start. A little flare towards short, and it's finally Ramon Torres to cut up right in front of Escobar, who was waiting for it to make a basket catch. But Torres makes the play, and there's one out.
That is a funny out right there. I mean, having played infield before on a little easy line drive, but soft jammer between the 2 players, you really have to communicate. But Torres, he went ahead and took it. When in doubt, catch the out. Escobar was probably calling for it.
Escobar has this one go under his glove. It was going to be a really tough play for him to throw out Hernandez, who runs well. That's why he went after it standing up.
Number 66.
Yeah, that'll be recorded a base hit. But if he does glove this, he's going to throw KCA out. He has the great ability to be able to take the glove, take it to his throwing hand, and get on top of this throw. I've seen him do that many times.
Now Puig, who struck out swinging his first time up. Strike 1. But the Royals, if they turn a double play every time they do, the next day McDonald's sandwiches are only $1 at McDonald's all this Royals season long. And Danny has induced 12 this year, so keep her down. He only has 2 ground ball outs in this game, and both were to a left-handed batter, Bellinger. Both times Bellinger ending innings in the 1st and 3rd. Puig pops it up. That's Whit Merrifield to make the play, and Puig is out number 2.
Number 21, Chris Thompson.
Yasiel's still growing up in the big league. Sometimes you think that you watch him play and it's all about him, where he pops up, mad at himself, drops the bat, fair territory, or crumbling last night the way he was double switched for.
Yeah, he's continuing to mature.
Trace Thompson tripled his last time up. Scored on the Forsythe single.
Okay, now he's double switched for again. He just doesn't quite understand. You would think he would by now. With the 4 years with the Dodgers, in the National League, that happens. I remember, when my first year in the National League, I was a double switch for, and I was concentrating on what I did. I had made an error an inning before, and he pulled me out. I thought he was pulling me out, but he wasn't. I was all upset, and I was angry with myself until they told me, hey, look, it's just a double switch. We gotta get the pitcher in there.
But even then, Hud, you're a player, and the manager has to make decisions like that.
Right, but you're not sure why. You just don't know what you're thinking it's your fault. but he should know better by now.
Yeah, with the body language, he shows up his manager Dave Roberts, who led this team to the National League West title and is well on the way of doing that again.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Duffy fell behind Thompson 3-1, then got back in the count to run it full, and then fed him a pitch that caught too much of the plate, and Thompson drilled it off the left field wall for a triple. Now he evens the count 2-2.
Duffy working the same spot, down and in.
The Dodgers with a run in the first and 3 in the third. Justin Turner providing most of the trouble with a pair of home runs and 3 RBIs, and the Royals rallied in the top of the fourth with a 2-run home run by Eric Hosmer. In there, strike 3 called.
Beauty. 6th strikeout for Duffy this afternoon, toward the slab at Dodger Stadium. Got to go.
Brought to you by Thoroughbred Ford. Every day there's a great deal waiting for you at Thoroughbred Ford. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg with you in Los Angeles. The Dodgers with a 4-2 lead. Clayton Kershaw back on the mound. Face the bottom of the order in Soler, Butera, and Danny Duffy. Kershaw made one mistake, and that was to Eric Hosmer. Been a pain in his side in the 2 times they've met, as Eric now 4 for 6 off the tough lefty, and Hosmer went deep. So Soler, who has that ability, struck out looking his first time up, and now he's 0 for his last 11.
Due to check in with a long ball, and you know what? If he gets a hold of one, he could probably put one over the roof here.
I'm telling you, he is a strong man.
And the way that ball is carrying.
Pops it up left side, a mile high. Kike Hernandez waiting for it to come down, and then makes the catch over his left shoulder. Hey, Cornhusker fans, make sure to get your Husker Night themed ticket for July 15th when the Royals take on the Rangers. The first 7,500 fans through Gate A with this themed ticket will receive a limited edition Huskers branded cap. Join your fellow Huskers for an evening of Royals baseball. Make sure to purchase your ticket at royals.com/theme ticket. Gordon not in the game today. The Nebraska Cornhusker All-American. Butera takes strike one. Drew flied out to left field his first time up. He's making his 20th start of the year. And one of the reasons that the Royals starting him over Salvador Perez. Perez once again is going to have a workout. He's in the All-Star game as the starter. 5th time he's been elected to the American League All-Star game. On the hands of Drew and fouled straight back. Kershaw right now at 52 pitches. He had ended 4, throwing 48, 34 of them for strikes. He was the Dodgers' first-round pick in 2006. Ball lined sharply, but right to the third baseman Turner. And Drew saying, "Man, I wanted to get a hit against my old buddy."
Sure did, and he hit it well. He was on the previous fastball. He fouled some straight back. Well, the guys are looking better second time through on Kershaw.
Now Kershaw facing Duffy, and these again are two guys outstanding in their community. You talk about their talent. Yes, they have athletic gifts, but Danny Duffy's done so much in the community for Braden's Hope, childhood cancer research, Royals charities involved in helping out the K9 community. He has a big heart. And then Kershaw, he was the 2012 Clemente Award winner, which goes to the player who represents the game through positive contributions on and off the field. There's a chop up the middle.
Yeah.
And how about Danny Duffy?
There you go.
Getting a base hit off Clayton Kershaw.
Hey, his second big league hit in his career. Look at him over there looking in that dugout like, hey, his chest is swollen right now. Good topspin, man. That second hop, it bounced right through.
You know, I was talking about sportsmanship and their community involvement, and I'll do it again when Danny gets up there. Good things happen.
Yeah, but he's just looking to put the ball in play. I'll tell you what, he's really excited. Now Kershaw's not happy at all.
Now you have to face a dangerous hitter in Whit Merrifield. Whit fouls it off, strike one.
Kershaw coming in with the second lowest batting average, opponent's batting average, behind Max Scherzer. You can see that through the lineup, but look what he is. It's third time through, and that's right where Whitley is starting now. 244. Fella's got a chance. Pop one out of here. Tie game. That easy. But you have to be able to pick up one of his 4 pitches, which is not easy.
He has 7 strikeouts in the game, and he has had Whit down in the count each of the 3 times he's faced him. Whit flied out to left field on the first pitch he saw back in the first inning, and then struck him out 3 pitches in the third. Like Danny's going to go.
No, but Danny, he can't wipe the smile off his face right now.
Kershaw's probably gone. Don't even get a lead over there.
How about that?
And Whit strikes out. That's 8 now for Kershaw in the ball game. Only in the middle innings, bottom of the 5th inning, and Danny Duffy, who's been solid, striking out 6, but he's had one problem. That's Justin Turner, and there is Dan Duffy. Danny's pop.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit of love from another fan after his son just got a hit off of Clayton Kershaw.
Now he will face Kershaw. Maybe wants payback here.
You know Kershaw does.
Strike one.
Kershaw has 7 doubles in his career. 1 triple, 1 homer.
0-2. One and two. And the Royals were able to get Danny back from the disabled list. It was almost like making a trade, getting a top lefty starter back in there. Grounder to the left side, fielded by Torres, and he will throw out Kershaw. And since we're on the subject of injuries, let's go to our University of Kansas injury report. And it's a shame, Hud, that the Royals have lost Nathan Carnes, and he may undergo thoracic outlet surgery, obviously done for the year. Matt Strahm already done for the year because of that torn patellar tendon.
Yeah, bummer for both guys. Anytime that injury bug hits you, man, it's no fun. But especially Nate Carnes, you know, brand new to the team this year, started to really get it in a groove. Power right-hander, big, strong kid. And, they'll have to wait another year on it. Alexander and Mike Minor have done a good job. Left-handers out of Ned's bullpen, so that'll help bridge the gap to replace Strahm, but you can't replace him. Those guys will become super Royals fans. Pull for their guys.
Forsythe 1 for 2 with a base hit, RBI, and a run scored. Strike in there. 0-2. Yeah, I was talking with Ryan Lefebvre, who was not only talking with Ned Yost on his pregame show, but also with general manager Dayton Moore, and they were talking about the surgery, the possible surgery for Carnes. He still wants to get another opinion, and the loss of Nathan. Strike in there, and he strikes out Forsythe, so that's 7 Ks for Danny in his Dodger Stadium debut.
That's right. You brought up our partner, Ryan Lefebvre. Let's check him out.
There is Rhino.
Hey, you can't yawn in a day game, Rhino. Let's go. But you know what? We got a better picture of him.
Yeah, there's Ryan as a baby being held by his dad, Jim, and there's Mom.
Look at him. Look at Rhino. He's grew up here at Dodger Stadium, no doubt.
I mean, it was fun coming in
Look at him, he's
to
laughing.
the ballpark with him the other day, and he said, you know, as a kid, people asked me, what's your favorite game? And Ryan said, I didn't have any because we're kids and we're just running around the ballpark, going out of the souvenir stand, trying to get an extra hot dog or some cotton candy.
Yeah, he used to run around with Jose Mota, who's a broadcaster now for the Angels. And Jose's father, Manny Mota, was a teammate of Jim's. It's always fun, man.
Ground ball third, Torres. And that'll do it. For Ryan Lefebvre, we hope that he has a wonderful all-star break with wife Sarah and the 4 kiddos. would be in for a test facing Clayton Kershaw today, and he has struck out 8 batters in 5 innings, and he's received help from Justin Turner, who has belted 2 home runs in the game. But the Royals do have Eric Hosmer, and he is 2 for 2 against Kershaw, a single and this home run to left center.
Oh, that'd have been heartbroken if Thompson would have snagged that.
But he didn't.
No.
The Royals right in it. Go into the 6th inning. Hitters 2, 3, and 4. Torres has struck out twice. So Ramon says, maybe I'll bunt. But he takes strike 1.
Yeah, you know, he hasn't had a major league home run, and wouldn't it be nice if he could put Kershaw in his book, be the first one? So put the bunt away. Go to hacking.
Well, a swing and a miss by Ramon Torres, so he struck out all 3 times. You know, our sprint trivia question, name the only 2 pitchers to win at least 20 career games with the Royals and Dodgers. We mentioned Greinke.
Yeah,
Ken Brett only had 1 year with the Dodgers.
I'm going with Tim Belcher. Belcher was
that's
a Dodger.
That's a great call.
Well, thank you.
Way to go, Hud.
No, you got Greinke. I had to get the other.
Now Kane, who singled in front of the Hosmer home run. Oh, that hurt.
Oh, man. Oh, I hope that didn't get him off on his knee.
And here comes Nick Kenny. Is Kane in a lot of pain as that ball he pounded off of his left leg, and you want to go into that all-star break with everybody healthy. And Kane's so important to this team.
If it's his knee, that is trouble. The shin hurts, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, let's don't speculate.
Well, they're going to show us the replay. We'll be able to see. Just telling you from experience.
Oh man. Wow.
Yeah, that's bad.
Right on the inside of the knee.
Nothing worse than the head athletic trainer coming out and touching the spot and say, is this it right here? And you go, ah, yeah, that's it. Okay. He's going to stay in.
Wow. That's a tough dude. Ned Yost jogged out there with Nick. And you know, the last place you want to spend the All-Star break is in a bathtub of ice.
Exactly.
Lorenzo
right.
might have that left leg and some ice, not only after the ball game, on the flight home with an ice pack. Kane down in the count, 0-2. And then Kershaw overthrows that fastball at 94 miles an hour.
Typically, the pitcher, after a guy fouls the ball off his foot, they'll go right back in the inside part of the plate as he's still hurting. But that was a fastball he fouled off his knee. Usually it's a breaking ball or something coming down and in. Locane's looking for a heater right here.
And he waves at that fastball away from him. That's 10 strikeouts now in 5 2/3 innings for Kershaw and 2 in the 6th.
baseman Eric Hosmer.
Join us on July 22nd when the Royals take on the White Sox and grab the next bobblehead in our Memorable Moments series. The first 20,000 fans will receive an exclusive Eric Hosmer bobblehead commemorating his game-tying mad dash to home plate in the 9th inning of Game 5 of the 2015 World Series. Visit Royals.com area price chopper locations or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. And HUD, as we are in the 6th inning and Hosmer's gone deep, we forgot to tell our fans that this is the Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Jeff Ernest from Lenexa. Hosmer with a base hit down the left field line. He's now 5 for 7. Puts the brakes on as Chris Taylor is a former shortstop and had an accurate throw to second base.
Stay hot. Beautiful line drive by the third baseman Turner right there. Very nice. He's owning Kershaw. Got to get some guys on ahead of him.
And if the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, like if Bonifacio does it right here, the game will be tied. And Jeff Ernest from Lenexa will win $700. But if the Royals go deep with the bases full, against Kershaw, it should be like $50,000, but it's 25 grand.
Should be $100 grand. Kidding me? I don't know if he's ever had a slam hit off him.
Bonifacio is grounded out twice, once back to the mound and the other time to third. Jorge has reached in 16 straight, and that includes 15 hits and 10 walks. One ball, one strike. One and two. Man, he really makes it difficult for you when he gets 2 strikes in a batter.
Yeah, that overhand curve is
man.
nasty. I mean, it's very deceptive. Comes out of the same arm speed as his fastball.
It looked like it was head high, and then all of a sudden was ankle high. In the dirt.
Yasmani Grandal, their everyday catcher, normally catches Kershaw, but he had a rough night last night. Had some balls bouncing by him, some wild pitches, some pass balls. Dave Roberts decided he'd let Austin catch his ace today. Austin Barnes. Good pitch.
And there is a strikeout for Kershaw. He strikes out the side, now 11 in only 6 innings. Turner is leading off. With 2 home runs in this game, the Dodgers lead by a pair. And Oklahoma City Thunder fans, make sure to purchase your Oklahoma City Thunder Day theme ticket for the July 16th game against the Rangers. Each theme ticket comes with a Thunder branded Royals hat and your seat for the game. Visit Royals.com/theme tickets for more information and to get tickets. Here is Turner, who's gone deep to center field twice. Last one was a monster shot.
Yeah, nice to see nobody on base with him coming up.
Might want to pitch around this guy.
Yeah, God, you know what?
Now he's Superman.
He's aggressive. He knows what pitches he's looking for.
He's batting over 400 with 9 home runs the last month.
Okay, first home run, dead center. Good easy pass, good swing. Top hand takeoff, one hand release. He's got it down. Stayed inside of that one too.
Fifth time in his career that he's had a multi-home run game. The last one was last year at Washington in July. Big swing and a miss. Well, he hit an off-speed pitch. First time up for the home run. He struck him out. 8 strikeouts now for Duff. 19 for the 2 pitchers.
Very nice. Fell behind Turner 2-0 and came back and got him out of the zone there. That's rare. Let's see that happen.
Now Duffy to face the young left-hander Cody Bellinger, who's heading to the All-Star game. What a season he has had. 25 home runs. And that is second in the National League to Cincinnati's Joey Votto, who went deep over the weekend for his 26th time. Stanton right behind with 24.
Yeah, that pitch he hit out off of Soria last night
to the opposite field
was a good pitch. It was a changeup on the outer half, right where you want to execute it. He expected Bellinger to roll over, pull it, but he waited and he got up underneath and he pushed it out to left center. Certainly no mistake pitch, but just good hitting.
And then he cracks one, but right to Escobar, who had him played perfectly. That's where the sabermetrics works with the ship. The Royals have the shortstop directly behind second base.
Esky's telling Merrifield he never saw it. Lots of times, you see Esky, he's sitting right up there. Whenever you can get hit something hard by the lanes there, that's a base hit, but not here. And with the backdrop, behind home plate, a lot of white Dodger t-shirts that are there, and so you can see all the white. You lose a baseball back there. Plus the AM or the signatures, the signs back here. It's hard to pick up the ball with the white signs. I mean, it's tough, and Escobar was sharing that with Merrifield. Hey, look, I barely saw that one, especially when it's hit 100 plus.
So 2 outs for Barnes, who is 0 for 2 with the into road trip to Seattle and LA. Still have won 18 of their last 26 despite dropping the first 2 at Dodger Stadium.
They were in both of them.
Yep. I really thought they were going to win it when Salvi went deep.
Just highly unusual walks that we've never seen before.
That ball struck well left field. And Barnes has gone deep for the 5th time this year. And the Dodgers are in front 5-2.
Yeah, he caught it just right. Dropped the head on that, got some backspin on it, just got it in the air, and shared with you how far the ball travels during the day here at Dodger Stadium. All you got to do is get it up with some backspin, and it's got a chance to leave. Kid made a nice catch. He was on a highlight reel.
Yeah, Rex, you were talking about how rare it is to see what we saw last night in the 10th inning with 4 straight walks and then a walk-off victory. Last time it actually happened, June 6, 1962. So I didn't see it. It was at Wrigley Field when San Francisco's hurler Don Larson, yeah, the same Don Larson that pitched in the 1956 World Series, that perfect game. Foul back. And he walked Don Landrum with the walk-off walk in a 4-3 Chicago victory. 1962.
I don't remember that, Fizz.
I was only 50 years old at that time.
I knew it.
Fouled off. Hernandez singled to left field sharply. His second time up, I beg your pardon. So Duffy, who had only allowed 4 total home runs in 12 starts earlier this year, has given up 3 in his start in his Dodger Stadium debut. And he's now on 93 pitches on a warm afternoon in LA. To right field, Bonifacio will make the catch, and that does it. But one more for the Dodgers and a home run by young Austin Barnes out of Riverside, and it's 5-2. For Kansas City and fans before the first swing, make your picks for the T-Mobile Home Run Derby Bracket Challenge. With a little luck, you and 3 friends may be going to the 2017 World Series thanks to T-Mobile. Make your picks at MajorLeagueBaseball.com/bracket challenge. And there's the bracket. You can see Moose will get Sano in round 1, and then the winner of Giancarlo Stanton and Gary Sanchez. With the tough lefty Kershaw on the mound, Moose and Gordon given the day off. We may see them along with Salvador Perez in a double switch. Royals also have Brandon Moss available on the bench. And there's a swing and a miss, and Escobar with a 1-1 count. Bottom of the order, hitters 6 through 9 have provided 1 hit, and the 1 hit by Duffy. It's rolled to short. KK Hernandez. Ooh, Bellinger almost had to come off the bag, but kept his foot on there, and there's one down. Now Soler 0 for 2. Strikeout looking, a pop-up. Strike one. And you know, we know what the players will do during the All-Star break. Some will be going to Miami for the All-Star game. Others will be resting up. But how about for the management team? And Ryan Lefebvre was telling me in his conference with Dayton Moore, because they have the Sunday show, he said they're going to have conference calls every day during the All-Star break with the whole idea of how do we make the club stronger.
Oh yeah, they'll be working overtime.
So Larry grounds out.
There's no break.
And it's not about just the major league level, it's all the way through.
Think about that. You know, you got 4 or 5 minor league teams, all the personnel, all the players and everything. They all have issues. There's a lot of managing that goes on.
Boy, Raul Mondesi really playing well. He's had grand slams in back-to-back games. Omaha won last night 5-1.
Cool.
Northwest Arkansas won. Alfredo Escalera, who we saw at spring training, hit a 3-run home run in the 8th. That was good to see. Kevin McCarthy warming up in the Royals bullpen. And Drew skies one to center field, and Thompson is there, so it's a 1-2-3-7 for Kershaw. He has a 5-2 lead, and you may see a double switch. Provided on Eric Hosmer's 2-run home run in the 4th. And the Royals and Fox Sports Kansas City are offering a unique way for fans across the Midwest to enjoy a game at Kauffman Stadium. It's the Raised Royal Fan Express. Fans in designated markets will have the opportunity to win a trip to the K. The next stop is Lincoln, Nebraska, July 15th. Go to Royals.com/FanExpress for more information. And they'll be coming for Nebraska Day.
Wouldn't you know it? That's a Fox Sports one day, and we won't be there, and I won't be able to greet the folks. Darn it.
You know, you can still go on your own, Hud.
I could, you know, I might just do that.
But I'm sure William or David has a travel ball game.
Yeah.
You may want to go to watch that.
It's all right. We're happy that.
That big groan we heard was from Lincoln, Nebraska, that you wouldn't be there to greet them.
Yeah, no, believe me, there'll be more people on the bus now that they know that.
Puig with a shot to left field. Soler racing it into the corner, and that's a nice play by Jorge. Wow. Ball well struck.
I'll say it just kept hooking and hooking towards the line. He got some little top spin on that. A little top hand heavy Puig off the bat, and Soler just kept running. Another nice play out there. He looks good in left.
He looks more comfortable in left than right.
He does, man. He was at full speed when he crashed into the wall, too. Three steps to stop. Thankfully, it's padded. Duffy says, hey, thank you. Good play. That'd have been extra bases if it dropped.
Now Trace Thompson takes strike one. Kershaw has not come out yet to the on-deck circle, and now he does. Darn it.
You're saying, darn it. What about the Royals hitters?
I know.
They're saying, oh, man, let's get to that pin.
He only has 82 pitches. I think he'll tell him when he's coming out. Escobar. Man, he's good. He's really good. And Thompson runs so well that Esky knew he had to get rid of it immediately.
Love the arm angle. Coming that way towards the third base bag. Your momentum's coming. You better throw off. Get on top quickly or the ball will sail. See how he gets on top of that? Ball stays straight. Beautiful throw.
Caught him by an eyelash, too.
Yeah, but he had to get rid of it. I mean, think about that. You don't have time to find the seams. Yeah, there's two nice plays for Duffy.
Is that what you call your ridden troll?
That's a ridden troller. Better believe it. Get rid of it with some petrol on it.
Kershaw, strike one. Duffy did get a hit off Kershaw, but he has not struck out Clayton yet. Maybe now. This is likely Danny's last inning. His spot will be up to start the 8th inning. Hitters 9, 1, and 2 for Kansas City in the top of the 8th. Royals only 2 today, and yesterday was only the Royals' second loss since June 1st when scoring 4 runs or more. They are 19 and 2, and he does get the strikeout of Kershaw. So Danny's afternoon over. He goes 7, gives up 5. Royals trail by 3. Starting the 8th inning, and fans, you can cheer on longtime Royals Alex Gordon on Thursdays in his fan section, Gordo Nation. For only $35, you get a seat in left field, a limited edition Charlie Hustle brand t-shirt, and an Alex Gordon big head. Join your fellow Royals fans for this fun experience supporting Gordo. For tickets, go to royals.com/theme tickets. Well, Brandon Moss will come out and be hitting for Danny Duffy. The Royals only have one right-hander available, and that's Salvador Perez. And I think they'd like to have Sal up there with runners on.
Yeah, they would. Duffy, way to go, man. He battled hard. You know, just a few pitches out over the plate. Change up, breaking ball, fastball. Those are the ones that were hit out. But look, no shame. There's Mr. and Mrs. Duffy. They're entertained by their son today at Dodger Stadium for the first time in his career, towing the slab here. As a big leaguer. Got him a knock too. How about that? Now they'd like to get the W, but they're going to have to wait and see what happens here. See what Moss can do.
Brandon goes after the first pitch, pops it up foul territory. Turner over, has room and makes the catch. One pitch, one out.
Rats. Moss had his chance. He's hitting .400 against lefties this year and just missed it.
Second baseman number 15, Whit Merrifield.
So now back to the top of the order and Whit Merrifield. Whit 0 for 3, twice striking out against Kershaw. Ball one. Kershaw has gone the distance only one time this year. That was back on May 23rd against the Cardinals. He was brilliant. 3-hit, 2-1 victory. No walks, 10 strikeouts. This is his 7th 10-plus strikeout game this year. He struck out 11 today.
That's right along his average of strikeouts per 9, 10.
Merrifield shows bunt, takes a strike. 1-2.
Didn't want to do that.
Well, you get in the hole against this guy is remarkable.
Yeah, if you're gonna square, you know, you want to go ahead and put it down. Whitley, he didn't like to strike out. Kershaw's got him twice today.
2 balls, 2 strikes. You don't see Merrifield strike out 3 times in a game very often, but Kershaw is a rather special pitcher.
Never seen him strike out 3 times ever.
Fans, you can join us in acknowledging the strong Tech presence in the Kansas City community with a Tech night at the K theme ticket on Thursday, July 20th, and the Royals take on the Tigers. This theme ticket comes with a custom Royals portable power bank and a seat for the game. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Royals.com/theme tickets. Kershaw gets Torres. He has an easy 8th. We might see his 2nd complete game this year. Royals baseball is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Ford. Going further so you can. and by Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less. Steve Pizziak, Rex Other, Joe Goldberg with you. Danny Duffy, he went 7 today, got a hit off Kershaw, but leaves trailing 5-2. The new pitcher will be Al Albuquerque, pitching in his 6th game at the big league level this year.
Fastball, slider, changeup. That's good fastball.
Forsythe is 1 for 3 with an RBI single and a run scored in the Turner home run. Takes strike 1. And by the way, a big shout out to Cecil Torres, who turns 87 years old tomorrow. He's a huge Royals fan, and that sent in by his son Jim. And also Mike Doyle saying, "Happy birthday, Cecil."
All right. Folks, get a break, and then we get the Rangers coming out next Friday. Nice long homestand.
Yeah, that's going to start with Texas for 3, and then 4 with the Detroit Tigers, and 3 with the Chicago White Sox.
Yep.
That goes from the 14th all the way through the 23rd. Hosmer will handle it. Underhands to Albuquerque covering. 1 out.
Left fielder, number 3, Chris Taylor.
Now Taylor, who came in red hot. He had 4 hits on Thursday, including the game-winning walk-off against the Arizona Diamondbacks, but the Royals really have been able to hold him down in this one. He is just 1 hit and 11 times up. Royals will have the middle of the order coming up, facing Kershaw, Kane, Hosmer, and Bonifacio. And the Royals still have available in the dugout Alex Gordon, Mike Moustakas, and Salvador Perez. Pretty good weapons. Line to right field, but it stays up for Bonifacio, and 2 out. These Dodgers playing awfully well at home.
Sure are, and I'll tell you what, Chris Taylor, he didn't have much to show in this series, but he's hit the ball hard.
Dodgers have the best home record in baseball at 38-11, and they've now won 17 of their last 18 games at home, and the last time that happened was April and May 37 years ago in 1980.
There's some kind of lava hot.
Turner has homered twice. Solo shot in the first, 2-run blast off Duffy in the third.
I thought the Royals were going to be the team to knock them out. That didn't happen.
Long way to go. In the air right side, Bonifacio will make the catch in a 1-2-3 8th inning for Albuquerque. We head to the 9th. Middle of the order coming up, Kane, Hosmer, Bonifacio.
The plays of the game, we can't look any further than Clayton Kershaw. Unfortunately for the Royals, he has just mowed them down. I mean to tell you, he had all 4 of his pitches working, 12 strikeouts on the day, just really dealing, keeping him off balance, doing exactly what he wants. Got some run support, 2 home runs by Turner, and he's still out there, and he's looking to throw a CG with just 89 pitches thrown.
No walks. 12 strikeouts, amazing. We told you the only complete game he's had this year was back on May 23rd against the Cardinals. Threw 104 pitches in that game, no walks, 10 strikeouts, and he won it 2-1. He is on top of his game. The one guy he's not been able to solve will bat second. That's Eric Hosmer, who is 3 for 3. Royals only have 5 hits and 3 by Haas. Kane will lead it off. That ball ripped to center field, but right at Thompson, who moves towards his left and makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Eric Hosmer won't forget this day. Never. Best pitcher, best left-hander on top of that. First pitch you saw from him today. Laced it. I mean to tell you. And on this one here, oh man, look at him. He's looking like he's on the golf tee there. Looking for that nice little 7-iron over the left center field wall. Beautiful. That was Hosmer's 12th home run. Now he's continuing to rake. That one down the left field line, and now he's going to make it out here.
First time they got him out. Hernandez throws him out, 2 down for Bonifacio. Kershaw has allowed 2 or fewer runs in 15 of his 19 starts this year. And the Royals, remember, they came in hot. The previous 14 road games before LA, they were averaging over 6 runs per game, but they have been held to just 7 runs in the 3 games by the great Dodger pitching. Bonifacio takes strike 1. Down the line, hits the bag, and that's a fair ball. Bonifacio racing to second base, makes it with a double. So a little fortune smiling on KC here. One more gets on, and the tying run will come to the plate.
Yeah, how about that? Love it when the ball hits the bag.
Unless you're on defense.
If you're on the offense, that's what we're talking about. And that'll work. He'll take it any day. Escobar just kind of stay up there, keep the rally going here with 2. See if you can. Salvi's creeping into the on-deck circle. See if you can get to the Dodger bullpen.
Down low, ball 1. Escobar not looking to get on by way of a base on balls. He has only walked 6 times all year, and he's played in every single game. Jansen beginning to warm up. One ball, 1 strike. Kershaw trying to go 14-2 this year. Royals trying to rally in the 9th, 2 out. Didn't miss by much, but it missed inside. Teased him upstairs, and they say he did not go. They had already moved it on the scoreboard, figuring they'd give it to him because he's Clayton Kershaw, to 2 balls and 2 strikes. But nope, it's 3-1.
That's right. Drive him out of the park, Esky. Fastball right down the middle. Sit these fans down and get in the bullpen. Fouled off. Right away. That's a good aggressive rip there. Yeah, just missed that, baby.
Kershaw strikes him out, 13th of the ball game. And one of the best pitchers in baseball is now 14-2 as the Dodgers sweep the Royals